Cultural warning. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander viewers are advised that this video may contain images and voices of people who have died. The Insight Arts logo. Desert Perspectives, Limitless Horizons. Extract from black and white First Nations water design dot painting by Amanda Gorey. White text on black background. Insight Arts. Unbroken Land. Stories about water. Water is life. Audio described and closed captioned. A prominent rocky outcrop in full sun, blue sky behind, soft pale grass in the foreground. The rocks are reddish-brown, some very pointed and monolithic, others are rounded boulders. Crevices and cracks between the rocks are deeply shadowed in contrast to the bright sunlit surfaces. Superimposed on the blue sky is a second transparent image of the same rocks, creating an aura-like double image. A moving image of feathery white lines is imposed over the blue sky. A transparent image of glistening brown and white stripes imposed over the first image of sunlit rocks. Close-up. A woman's bare chest being painted by another person holding a fine green paintbrush. Dark brown ochre paint marks a wide U shape around the woman's neckline. Vertical brown lines are marked on her chest. Women and girls, sitting and standing around a desert camp. A young girl is guided into a group of older women sitting together on blankets. Two women are painting the bare chests of another two women. The young girl sits between the older women. Close up, the young girl, bare-chested, being painted by an older woman. Oil glistens on her skin. Dark brown ochre is painted on her chest. Various angles of the campsite and groups of women talking, observing the camp, preparing materials and painting each other. Nighttime, a red sand clearing. In the background, a cloth screen with projected film footage. In front of the screen, two groups of women and one young girl dance in two lines. They wear white cloth headbands, a small tuft of white feathers in the centre. Their chests are bare and painted in white and brown ochre markings on chest, shoulders and back. White cloth bands with white feathers are tied above the elbow. They wear below knee-length black skirts. The dancers raise and lower their heels in time to the singing, arms pulsing out in time. They hold a few white feathers in each hand. The first image of pointy rocks is imposed in the foreground. The background moves through a compilation of still portrait images of various First Nations women, some at camp, some in desert landscapes. One woman is heavily painted in red, brown and white concentric circles over her upper body. Another is framed by a colourful dot painting. Close up, bare feet dancing in red sand. Panning up to the two groups of dancers. They look about, side to side, pulsing arms and waving feathers in their hands. A montage of still images. In the foreground, sharply pointed rocks. In the background, portrait photographs of older women, some with heavily painted upper bodies. Nighttime, the dancers around a fireplace. The young girl is guided by the older women to a new position. The dance continues. Sharply outlined images of the pointy rocks are superimposed on the foreground with a strobing lightning effect that matches the sound of thunder. In the background, the dancers move around the fireplace. The sharp rocks, large in the foreground. The rocks disappear. Close-up of the dancers around the fire. Both images of rocks and dancers overlap. Still portrait images of two women superimposed over the image of rocks. The first rocky outcrop in full sun. At the base of the rocks, one line of women and girls in dance costume, arms outstretched, gently waving feathers, emerge, then fade away. The image fades to black. Artistic credits. Collaborating partner logo. Funding partners logos. Community partners logos. Insight Arts logo. Copyright www.insightarts.org.au.